Welcome back to the channel. This is the channel where you come to do maximum workouts with minimal equipment. So that's what we're gonna do today. And we got the Do Up at Chick mug with some strong black coffee because that's what we're gonna need today for this workout. All right, so all we're doing is dumbbells. All right, so we have one set of dumbbells and 5 exercises, right? And so we're gonna do a dumbbell cyclist squat, dumbbell Cossack squat, a dumbbell Renegade row with a push-up. Yeah, those aren't gonna go away. And then a single arm upright row, but it's not just like your typical up and down. We're gonna do a little side to side because why not? Let's throw in some real world scenarios into it. So we're gonna do that. I'll show you, and then we're gonna do Deadbug, right? So finishing out with some core stability because your core, if you don't know, your core connects your lower body and your upper body, all right? It's right here. Your core is more than your six pack. It actually protects everything on your spine, especially if you are out in the backcountry. Your back, y'all, your back needs to be strong, but also your core is a part of your back. So we're gonna do that, all right? So that's what we're gonna do today. Let's get to it. Let's do it. Okay, so the first one is a cyclist squat, and I'm gonna be using a slant board, y'all. These are super cheap on Amazon. I'll link this one down in the description below if you don't already have one. And if you're like, money's kind of tight right now, I don't want to spend money on a slant board. 1, I think you should. But 2, you can also use bumper plates, right? So putting bumper plates up and then setting your heel up on something. Or you can even get a 2x4, right? 2x4, have your heels on that, toes are actually on the ground. The whole purpose of a cyclist squat is to get that arch or that angle in your ankle, right? So heel up, toes down. That's essentially for a cyclist squat. All right, and I'm going to be using 20-pound dumbbells today. So I am going to be using just one dumbbell for this one because I want to do a goblet squat, and I really want to focus on the range of motion. I am coming back from a knee injury, so I really want to focus on range of motion over weight. All right, but if you're feeling good and you're like, no, I want to go up in weight, then definitely hold 2 dumbbells up at your shoulder or even down by your side, and you'll be money. All right, so I'm standing on the board. My feet are hip width apart, so they are a little bit more narrow than my typical like squat stance, but feet are hip width apart. I'm at an angle, and I'm just gonna hold the dumbbell underneath my chin. I'm gonna sit down. So as I'm sitting down, my knee is going over my toes. This is a good thing. Y'all, knees behind your toes, that has been proven like wrong, right? So not necessarily wrong, but it's been proven that knees over toes is more efficient for knee health rather than knees behind toes. So allow your knees to go over your toes. So then you're gonna come up and then repeat it. All right, so just squatting down, squatting up. Again, really focusing on that range of motion as you're doing this movement. Okay, so for the second exercise, you're doing a Cossack squat. So with this one, you want a wide stance, right? So I'm wider than I normally would go. My normal stance for a squat is probably like right here, so it's just a little bit wider than my hips. Cossack squat, I'm going out pretty wide. And I like my toes pointed out just slightly. I don't like them going forward because it's not comfortable on my knee as I'm going down. So they are pointed out just a bit, and my knee is gonna go over the direction of that foot, right? So I'll do this from the side. Okay, so my toes are pointed out. My knee is gonna go over the direction of where my foot is going. Now with this one, push your butt back and then lean into this leg, sit down into that leg, and then come up. So this heel can come up if it's comfortable for you. If you do have that range of motion to keep your foot or your heel down onto the ground, then do that because that helps with the ankle mobility. But again, if you don't have that ankle mobility and that heel comes up, that is a-okay. All right. So if you want to hold a weight, you can hold a weight down in between your legs and you can shift from side to side. I'm doing just body weight because again, I want to focus on that range of motion coming back from my knee injury. All right, so next one is a Renegade Row with a push-up. And this is where we're gonna need the dumbbells, all right? And I'll show you a couple of different ways that you can do this. So it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or advanced, anybody can do this. So how you would set up. So dumbbells are in my push-up position, right? So they're just a little bit wider. I'm in a plank, and then I'm gonna come down for a push-up, okay? Widen out my feet, row, row, push up, and then back. Now, if that is too difficult for you, right, so you're not there yet, what you can do is do a push-up with the dumbbell in the middle. So you're right here, push up, and then you can row to one side, row, push up, and then row again. Now, say like being on top of that or being in that push-up position hurts your wrist. What you can do is go down to your knees and do knee push-ups because that will help alleviate that, like just the position of your wrist and the pressure that's put on it. And also bringing in that other dumbbell. Y'all, you can do a push-up. You can do a Renegade Row on your knees, all right? So just remember, as you're setting up for that push-up, for the knee push-up, tuck your butt, all right? Your butt should not be out and you're doing push-ups like this. Tuck your butt, going all the way down, getting that full range of motion, and then come back up. Then you can row, row, push-up, okay? So there are ways to get around it depending on where you're at. If you don't have the core strength yet to do a Renegade Row while you're in a plank, go down to your knees. If you're not strong enough to do a full push-up, go down to your knees. All you have to do is scale back. This is not cheating. This is progressing, all right? So you're either regressing or progressing, and we want to progress. So it's okay to take a step back, reset, start where you're at, and then that way you can get stronger. Now, next one is going to be a single arm upright row with that weird little side to side twist that I was talking about. So what I'm going to do is an upright row or a single arm upright row is one arm coming up, and you want to lead with your elbow. Okay, so leading with my elbow, elbow is up. So meaning I'm not going to try to bring the dumbbell up to my armpit and my elbow is down. We're not doing that, okay? That's not an upright row. We're not targeting those muscles, okay? An upright row is bringing your elbow up and then back down. Depending on your shoulder and your range of motion will determine how high you can go. Some people can only come up to your ear, and that's okay, right? It doesn't matter how high the dumbbell goes. It matters how high your elbow goes. So again, start with where you're at. So now let's add in a side to side movement to this, okay? So rather than just coming up and down, I want you to come up and over, up and over. So I want you to think of this as you're reaching into your bag to pick up like a peak meal or a tripod or like your water bladder, right? So you're reaching in your bag, you get it out of your bag, and then you put it on the ground. That's the same motion that we are doing, all right? So switching sides. So reach into the bag, out of the bag, onto the ground. That's what we are doing right here. All right, last but not least, dead bug. Okay, so we're on the ground. You can do this weighted or you can just do this body weight. I'll show you both. On the ground, all right, on the ground, and your arms and legs are up in the air like a dead bug, right? With this, you wanna tighten up your core. So the best way to tighten up your core is to think about pushing your low back into the ground so your hips roll forward, right? They're not arching, they're not dumping forward, but they're tucked, okay? Tuck your butt. So low back is pressed into the ground, hips are coming forward, all right? Arms and legs are up in the air, and my opposite hand, opposite leg are gonna go back. So my right hand is going back and my left leg is going down. All the while, I'm pressing my low back into the ground. As I'm doing this, come back up, alternate. So this is a great core stabilization exercise, core bracing. So it's not necessarily a six-pack exercise. This is not a six-pack exercise, right? But this is helping get your deep core, so your transverse abdominis, working on that core bracing. Because as for the core bracing, I want you to think of like whenever you misstep out, like whenever you're hiking, right? You have weight on your back, whether if it's 10 pounds or 30 pounds or 50 pounds. If you misstep, usually it's your low back that you feel. You're like, oh crap, I just yanked my back, or I just tweaked my back from misstepping. And by misstepping while not bracing your core, that can lead to injury. So in order to prevent that, having a braced core while you are hiking can help protect tweaking your back as long as it's strong, all right? And so by doing that, we work on the deep core. Now, I just did dead bug with body weight. Now let's grab a weight. All right, so with a weighted dead bug, all right, so arms and legs are gonna be up in the air, so same thing, still thinking about tucking my hips, low back is pressed into the ground, and instead of my hands being right above me, I wanna lean back just a little bit, all right, and then they're gonna stay there, and now I'm lowering one leg at a time while maintaining this overhead position with my hands. Low back is pressed into the ground. I'm bracing my core and just alternating nice and slow and controlled. This is not a fast exercise by any means. All right, that's it. That is the workout. 5 exercises, minimal equipment, but maximum effort, all right? That's what we are here for, because the mountains are gonna be ready for you, whether if you're ready or not, they're gonna be there, all right? So we want to maximize our efforts before September gets here, chasing those elk, chasing the bears. Let's go. All right. Now you can do this workout with different formats depending on the time that you have. You can do a Tabata, an EMOM, an AMRAP, or you can do just set by set. If you don't know which one fits best for you, watch this video right here, because I broke down each one, and so you can pick which format fits your time, allotted time, best. Because that's one of the biggest excuses. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have enough time to do that. I don't know what to do. Well, I gave you what to do and how to do it. Now you just need to fit it into the format that you have the time for. All that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe for more workouts like this. Minimal equipment, maximum effort to get you mountain ready. All right. So be strong. Go live your adventure.